There is all the information for Dr. Joelle Villeneuve, who we're talking to today. Revive Life Clinic, where you can find it, the website, the phone number, on Twitter, and you're active on Twitter. I know I've seen you on there.
I just tweeted.
I just tweeted that you were here.
Yes.
Yay, we're happy that you're here.
Thank you.
And we're going to continue the conversation that we were getting into, but this time we're going to talk a little bit more about belly fat and hormones.
Exactly, yes. Okay. The number one thing that people say when they talk about weight is, it's just kind of around here.
Yeah, the spare tire, as they call it, right?
Exactly, yeah. And there are reasons why. You can exercise, you can eat well, we've spoken about digestion, but the fact of the matter is that we all go through a process where our hormones change. Yeah. And hormones play a huge role in belly fat. There's many different hormones, but we'll just maybe highlight a few. The first relationship is inflammation. Okay. If the body is inflamed, it will be very difficult to lose the tire around the middle. And inflammation is related to how we eat and how we digest. And that's why we were talking about that a little bit.
Okay, see how it all relates. Okay.
Yeah. The second hormone would be insulin. And people forget that insulin is actually a hormone. What happens is let's say you wake up in the morning and you have a bagel and away you go. So what happens is the bagel breaks down into glucose, which is sugar. Insulin's like the taxi car driver. It comes up to pick up the sugar and it takes it into the cell, and life is good. However, there's more sugar, so more taxis have to come. And then what happens is insulin is the leading hormone that causes your body to actually hold fat cells. If insulin is chronically high, you will not release the middle tire.
It doesn't matter even if you're a thin person. You can still just have that.
You can be thin, but you can have this area here. And it is the #1 hormone that is associated.
Wow.
So there's insulin. So once you take care of those, then there's cortisol. Okay, and we were talking about sleep, right? So cortisol is a hormone. You have adrenal glands, and they sit on top of your kidneys in the middle of your back. Yeah. When you're under stress, the body stimulates that gland and it produces your fight and flight hormones, which are adrenaline, norepinephrine, epinephrine, cortisol, female hormones like progesterone, and then DHEA, which breaks down into estrogen and testosterone. Okay. Now, what happens is when you're in this fight and flight mode, your body releases cortisol, you have enough energy to do everything you need to do, and life is great. But if you're in this mode for a long period of time, cortisol will remain high. And what happens is normally cortisol should rise about a half an hour after waking, which is typically around 6, and then it'll dip a little bit at lunch, and then it should fall, getting you ready to sleep. Okay. But if you're waking up at 3, as you were saying, what do
I do, doctor? Help me. Yeah.
What happens is your body's actually in sleep mode, and the cortisol is actually at a different level. It's actually quite low. So you have to work with your body to try and elevate your cortisol. So your graph is a little bit over here, which is fine. But the issue with cortisol is that if cortisol's high, you will have a problem with sleep. Either falling asleep or staying asleep or waking up too early.
Busy mind.
Exactly. Yeah. And research shows that the average woman will eat about 328 more calories when they're sleep deprived. Now, you don't have a problem.
Yeah. No, but I have problems the other way, not being able to put on weight as well.
Yes, so it could be a function of that as well.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is work with your cortisol. So if you want to go to bed at 10 o'clock, you want to make sure that you wind down and help your body bring down the cortisol at about 8, about 2 hours ahead. Yeah, so that means just maybe grabbing a good book, having a warm cup of herbal tea, just even sticking your feet in warm water. That actually works too, and just kind of getting a foot massage.
And then what about in the morning then to change things?
So then what you want to do is, in order to help rise your cortisol, exercise and sunlight is the best thing.
Sunrise yoga.
Exactly. It's just kind of getting those natural hormones pumped up by themselves. Now, a lot of people rely on coffee, and that's okay for a short period of time, but eventually too much coffee overstimulates that gland.
Okay, so in the next segment, we're going to talk about snacking for hormone health then?
Yeah.
So the next step. See how it's a progression. I love it. I'm really learning here today. This is good. You need to stay. Okay, we're going to head back to Smiths Falls right now, and a classic cars segment. Check out some of these cars.